post. Cooper arriving! And the game firmly back in Leeds' grip.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Ramblers of the South Stand. Conor here with Joe Wainman and Ryan from the Pigeon Detectives. We've just done a podcast on LS11, so if you haven't checked that out, please go check that out. You can get them on Facebook, Periscope, and is that right?
Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, and your favourite podcast provider.
Yeah, so anywhere really. Fantastic little podcast, and Ryan does a great job with it as well. So yeah, so you Stoke preview everyone. Coming off the back of an excellent win against Derby, which we've gone over numerous times. If you haven't catched the videos, please go out and check them out. Monday Night Football, by Transfer Tuesday, where we've spoken about it a little bit. But what do you think, fellas? I'll come to you, Ryan, first about the Stoke game. What do you reckon?
I don't think any game in the Championship is going to be easy. We spoke that, on the podcast, that the Stoke have got a new manager. They're underachieving for the money they spent. They've got some really good players. If them players turn up and decide to play, they'll arguably beat anybody in the league. So it's going to be a difficult one, really. It just depends how they transition with this new manager. They're off the back of 2 defeats now. The FA Cup bit embarrassing for him last night, against Shrewsbury at home, and then obviously the game before they got beat in the league. So it's going to be a tough one, but I think Leeds off the back of the confidence of Derby. And players coming back. Cooper had a great 90 minutes. I think I'm positive for Leeds, to be honest with
you. Yeah, Joe.
I think for me, I've said many times on All Leeds TV the importance of these group of fixtures, and the Derby one was massive for me. We've got that over the line, and I just think we'll continue to grow from strength to strength. And I see it being a little bit more comfortable than what Ryan does. I think there's a lot of bodies in there. They're excellent players, but at the minute I think they're just a group of individuals. And obviously Jones has come in and they've lost 2 on the bounce. So I seen it being a little bit more comfortable, and I think the tougher game for me would be probably Rotherham away, in all honesty. So. Yeah,
we've said that. I think they had the blueprint on us, really, didn't they, when they came down? But we did excellently to get that 2-0 win, but it was a tough game. But I think, I'm more on the border of it could, but I think it's going to be a tough one. But you know what I'm like normally.
I'm always positive. I win every game 6-0.
But I think it depends what Stoke turns up. But I can't think of a time this season really. I mean, I don't do a lot of research on Stoke, but I can't think of a time this really where there's been sort of a standout result for them. But it's one of those really. I mean, who would you start? Would you go with the same lineup?
I mean, I'd probably go with the same lineup. I mean, Izzy Brown did 90 minutes in under 23s. Could he make the bench? Could he come on for the last 10-20 minutes? Who knows? But I think it'd be harsh to drop anybody. That Derby game, every single player played out of the skin. Sometimes we have a good game, but we can sort of maybe cherry pick a player and go, he wasn't that good today. But against Derby, I think everybody were brilliant. Alioski, a revelation at left back. Jack Harrison, he's been sort of in and out of the team this part of the season, for the whole season, and he had a good game. Pablo Hernandez, you're never going to drop Pablo. Jack Clark starting for the first time this season, and he was amazing. He got an assist for 1, and arguably set up the second goal as well. He did the hard work, and Alioski cut it back for Harrison to tap in. So for me, I don't think you make any changes. As long as they're all fit, I wouldn't change the team.
What are you, Joe?
Yeah, I think I agree. The only thing for me, obviously everyone knows how I feel about BPF. Listen, he's been okay. He was good at QPR, and he didn't put foot wrong really against Derby. He weren't tested much. I think from corners, Stoke could be dangerous, I just don't know if he puts Kiko Casilla straight in. I don't think we'll have a Jamal Blackman situation where he'll be on the bench for a long period of time and he has to work his way in. I think he's been brought in because Bielsa sees him as his number 1, right? So how long does Bielsa wait? He's at Real Madrid, he'll be up to speed. He was on the bench the other night, so is he fit and ready to go? Will it be in time for Stoke? I'm not sure, but if it was, I don't know, does he come in?
I guess that's the argument. I mean, for me, every time you play a football game, you put your best 11 out. For me, that's how you work. But as you alluded to in your podcast as well, Ryan, a lot of what managers do is they base selections on momentum, don't they? And current form. So I can't see Bielsa doing that,
No.
even if Casilla comes in. It looks like it's going to be done today.
I think so too. Medical today.
There's medical today, but I think there's when you're buying players from overseas, there's international clearance which can take up to 40 hours. So it could be registered before the game, but it could be literally just before the game. Now, will he? Obviously Bailey knows all these players very well. Bailey, for his faults, is very good at distributing the ball, so he'll know exactly where his fullbacks are, where his centre halves will be to play the ball. Kiko won't know that at this particular point. So for me, I don't think Bielsa will play him. I'm not sure I probably would at this point, but for the next run of games after he's had a few training sessions, for sure, I'd be putting him straight in.
No,
I think based on what you probably turned me around there. Fair enough. Decent enough argument to say probably too short notice, right? So you'd probably go with the same lineup. Like you said, I felt Alioski was amazing at left back. Forshaw was class. Roof's just class every game for me. The only thing I will say is obviously I don't think he takes all these opportunities, and I think Bamford will score more, but that's for a later day when Bamford comes back. But I am excited to see Izzy Brown as well, and hopefully he will make the bench. He played obviously for the under-23s. I don't know if you've seen, but the second goal, the way they passed it around was absolutely class, and obviously he finished that. So I'd be excited to see the bench and if Izzy's going to get a run out at all, really.
There's also rumours that I've heard as well that because Bamford didn't play, the 23s is a potential bench appearance. That's what I've heard. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be nice. I mean, look what we saw him do at Bolton. He came off the bench and a cold sort of grim day, wasn't it, at that Bolton away, and he came off the bench and scored with his first touch pretty much. So it's a great asset to have, and the sooner he gets fit, the better for us. But Roof keeps scoring, so it's difficult to push Roof out when he's scoring goals, and he's kind of. I agree with what you're saying. I don't think he maybe takes all his chances, but he kind of seems to be in the right place at the right time a lot of times. I mean, the goal against Derby, great work by Clark down the right wing and fantastic ball in, and he just got in front of his man and a great finish by Roof. So it's a headache, but a nice headache to have, really, isn't it?
Definitely.
So where would you see sort of the potential dangers from Stoke then?
Well, as we kind of mentioned before, Stoke have got some very good individual players. They spent 45 million in the summer. I mean, 45 million seems an immense amount of money at this level, and it is. Benik Fobe, Tom Ince. These are players that are proven Championship players, and if on their day they can terrorise anybody. So for me, they've got these sort of patches all around the team that could hurt any team, and I've always been, regardless of his dad being a Man United player, I've always rated Tom Ince at this level, and fortunately, I think he's always been a bit intimidated when he plays Leeds. He's never had a great game against Leeds, so I hope that continues on Saturday. But if he kind of gets going, he can cause people problems.
Yeah, I think Ince is one, definitely.
Yeah. And a forward up front obviously did great for Wolves last season. As we all know, Wolves got promoted, so they've got some good players.
I think they were. I don't know, that first game of the season, because the brilliant thing about these previews is we've done them before. And we sort of, I think we went into that Stoke game, didn't we, Joe? And we were fearing the worst, and as Ryan's already alluded to it on his podcast, I think we were all fearing the worst, really. We'd not really made any signings. It was, Stoke looked very good, as you said, 45 million, but we just completely blew them away. And if it's the Derby blueprint again, where they can't rectify it, they can't sort of, I mean, with all that went on with old Spygate and all this sort of stuff, Derby didn't look that different to when we played them originally. Yeah. So do you think, Joe, it's going to be the same sort of thing with Stoke?
I would hope so. I mean, obviously Gary Rowett was manager last time about, and he may have gone about the game differently second time around. Obviously they've got a new manager now, so he doesn't have nothing to go from, only what he's seen of us, I guess. So it'd be interesting to see how they do set up. I think for me, Joe Allen probably has got a point to prove because he got absolutely bossed in that first game. And for me, he's a top class midfielder in my opinion. Probably still could do a job in the Premier League, I think.
I think so, yeah, definitely.
So I think probably him personally has got a point to prove because, like I said, we just absolutely dominated him last time around. But like you say, even Shawcross for me should be a top centre back at this level. Do you know what I mean? And he's just not done it. I don't think.
Well, bringing Martin's Indy.
Got Jack Butland in goal.
Yeah,
Jack
exactly.
Butland
Jack
in
Butland,
goal.
yeah.
Jack Butland, good
Yeah,
goal.
Howler against us, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Strike.
When he kind of like bobbled it into his own net, kind of went under him, didn't it? But obviously for Leeds United, we've been sort of critical of recent games, not so much as not the derby game. Also got a clean sheet. They've conceded goals from set pieces. Now we know they've got some hype for their team, especially if they're big on Big Crouchy. And
he was a problem at Ellen Road for the last 10, wasn't he?
When they brought him on, he was probably, you saw like Berardi trying to like climb up like a monkey. Like, you know, so obviously that could hurt us, you know, if they kind of go down that route. You know, obviously now Liam Cooper's got some hype back in the team, obviously when Berardi and more recently Calvin Phillips were in the squad, in the lineup. Centre half, we were quite a short team really, but that's changed a little bit for the derby game. So that's something I think they also be aware of. They've got height, certainly on the set pieces.
I think, like you say, I think one thing that we've found, especially when Matt Smith came on for QPR, we have Apoe Halme, don't we? So if Crouch does come on, you can almost be certain that Halme will make an appearance. So we have that this time, as opposed to, like you said, fucking Berardi doing the Spider-Man up his back.
I think we just seem a lot more. I don't know what it was about that derby performance, but and we've not really touched on it because obviously it's still a preview.
Yeah.
But obviously we're all absolutely buzzing with that. But I think they just, after that game, there's just been so much, aside from Spygate, there's been so much positivity. You know, Kiko Casilla, we were talking about Daniel James, weren't we, on your podcast, the young Swansea lad we're in for. Clark starting, Forsh having a brilliant game, Cooper back in the fold. It just seems to all
start to click
coming together a little bit, and injuries coming back. Brown getting 2 for the 23s as well. I mean, where do you see us winning in this game? Do you think it's going to be sort of a midfield battle? Do you think it's going to be a sort of a 1-goal difference? Where do you see us sort of really hurting Stoke, like we did last time? I guess with Saiz and Cleek was sort of the main men for me in that game. I mean, where do you see us winning that game, Joe? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I just think, like I say, I touched on Alan needs to have a good game. I think the midfield for me, mate, I think that if you look last time out, I mean, Forshaw just cleaned everything up. Do you know what I mean? I've always said KP is the mop. Yeah, he just seems to mop everything up, and I think Forshaw did just as good a job. Arguably had his best game for us. I think Click looked better. The only thing I will say about Click, he seems to have lost his confidence in front of goal, especially with this song. I mean, for me, we just need to retire the song.
He just doesn't. Joseph just didn't shoot. He had 3 opportunities against Derby. He always seeks to pass it.
And I don't know if it's Bielsa. You don't know, do you? Bielsa's saying, no, look, you can make it easy by making that pass. But it never seems to come off, so just have a go. But yeah, I think maybe the midfield, mate, and we're going to get joy down the wings, especially if Clark starts and Harrison and Alioski can combine like they did against Derby. And I think we'll be a lot stronger at set pieces. You know the fact that we've got Cooper in there now, and hopefully, I mean, I've said they'll probably score, but the one thing I will say about Leeds is always we've scored in every away game this season, right? And I think we're the only team to do it. So we will score, and I said in the LS11 podcast, if you haven't listened, make sure you do, that we'd win 3-1, and I'm going to say that, yeah.
What about you, Ryan? Where do you reckon we?
I agree. I think it's a midfield battle, this game, and I think if we can dominate the midfield, it'll open up and make chances for us. I mean, like we, not to repeat what I'm saying, but they have got some very good players all around their pitch. So, like we're talking about the goalkeeper, talking about the strikers, they've also got very good midfielders. So for me, if we can sort of stamp them out in midfield, we'll open chances. Like you've got Jack Clark, who must be brimming. Well, we know he's brimming with confidence, and if he starts again, it's fantastic for him, and he's just going to absolutely love having a run at him. You've got Jack Harrison on the other side, who's kind of got a point to prove, and I think he's come out in an interview yesterday. I think he's got an interview and kind of said, Baker's obviously gone, but I'm here to stay. I wanted to sort of prove something, and I like that attitude. I think that's what you've got to be. You make your own pass in life, and it's the same with football. You've got to work hard to take your chance and get in the team, and I didn't think Baker did that, whereas I think Harrison's starting to do that. So I think if we can win, that midfield battle, I think we've got the scope to open up and open Stoke up and score goals.
I think further to your point, Ryan, as well, I just want to touch on, obviously you spoke about Jack Clark is confident to be bringing it. It was yourself who had Ben Parker on last time, and he said, didn't he, about the under-23s after that QPR game, they just looked like a totally different animal next time around because of the confidence they'd had in that FA Cup game, and I think they run out 4-0 winners, wasn't it, in the next game?
Went to Hull as well,
yeah.
bad team,
yeah,
and
it just shows what that's done for their confidence. So you're right in what you're saying in terms of when Clark's going to be chomping at the bit, man. I bet he can't wait.
He's just such an asset now, isn't he, as well? As soon as we let him go, it's sort of, I mean, his chance creation as well when he's been on. I mean, I just kind of want to touch on Clark really, because I mean, we spoke about it on Ryan's podcast as well, just the difference that he's made to this squad. I just don't think it can be under, even that finish against Villa. I was at Villa away, Joe gave me his ticket. But he's just a phenomenal talent. I think this is where Stoke could falter. I don't see that. I mean, they've got, I think the right back's Bauer, and I think he seems a little bit sluggish. It's the right back's Bauer, I think he's a German lad, and the left back,
I can't think of
I'm 100% sure, because Martin's Indian, Shaw crossing the middle, isn't there? I can't think of anyway, but whoever it is, it doesn't matter, does it? But I think he's going to be, if we can get the ball out to him. I don't know what you thought about when we played QPR as well. I thought QPR did a really good job on Clark. I don't think we didn't get the ball to him enough, but I thought on his touch they were straight at him, and he didn't get a lot of time. And I thought to an extent, I can't remember what podcast touched on it actually, it might have been Phil's, but they sort of touched on straight away he didn't really get enough joy, like they were getting touch tight to him, Clark, on everything, but then he gets 2 chances, 2 or 3 to just run at them, and it's game over, isn't it, really?
Well, definitely, and I agree with that. I'm about to say, obviously it's becoming known that he's a massive talent for Leeds United, so every Leeds United's opposition from now till the end of the season are always going to be looking at Jack Clark closer, because previously, even we didn't really know of him at the beginning of the season, let alone other teams. So obviously he's gonna be a targeted man now, so that's where Bielsa and his team will come into play to help him manage that. But you're right, the QPR game, they kind of closed him out of the game quite a lot. Like I say, as soon as he picked up the ball, they got close to him, because for him, give him a couple of yards to have a run at you, and he'll get past you. Yeah. But you don't give him the space. He's going to struggle to get past you, and that kind of happened in the QPR game, where it didn't happen at the Derby game. They gave him loads of room, and it just absolutely tore them apart down that right wing.
I think, like you touch on there, obviously Clark will probably be met with special treatment. But if we go back to the start of the season, people were aware of Saiz. And people used to but then it gave other bodies the opportunity to get on the ball. So let them put 2 men on Clark. We'll find space.
We'll let Harrison.
Yeah. And you've got Pablo in there. So it's an absolute magician. Click. So just even having him on the pitch is just. So it just gives us so much confidence and scares opposing fans, opposing players. You know what I mean? So it can only be good, man.
Yeah. So finally, we'll wrap it up anyway. Ryan, your prediction?
I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds. I don't think we'll walk all over them, but I think we'll win the game.
Goal scorers?
I'm going to go Roof, and I'm going to go Click. I've been saying Click for, I'm like, he's due a goal, he's due a goal.
Yeah.
And I've probably said that for the last 4 weeks, but yeah, Click.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a 2-1. I agree with Ryan, and I'm going to go with a Clark double.
Clark double.
What about yourself?
3-1, and I don't know, in terms of goal scorers, Roof will get 1, Clark, and we'll go Click.
Yeah, Click.
Yes.
Ryan, do you want to plug your podcast?
Yeah, LS11 Leeds United podcast. We record every Wednesday morning, then it goes on to all podcast formats shortly after. We have a lot of special guests on, including these guys, former Leeds players, former Leeds managers. So like, subscribe, LS11 on whatever platform channel you like. We're also on YouTube as well, if you're watching this on YouTube, search LS11.
Yeah, brilliant. So that's our preview for the week. Joe won't be doing a preview by himself. This is going to be both of our previews, because we've got a very special guest on just right now. So thank you for watching, guys. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to LS11 Podcast and All Leeds TV. I'll catch you in a bit.